The Democrats are panicking, and not just when it comes to the House. They're panicking about the Senate. They're panicking about governorships. They're staring down the barrel of a historic loss. Their party is so broke, it's so rudderless, and so out of touch that they can't stop Republicans from flipping governorships, Senate seats, and House districts in states they've owned for decades. You don't have to imagine it. It's happening right now, and it's an absolute nightmare for the Democrats. Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your patron professor, enjoying yet another glorious day in the Trumpian golden age that you made possible back in November of 2024. So if you want a front row seat on how you continue to change the world in ways you never even imagined, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. We are now officially 4 months out from one of the most consequential midterm elections in American history. And the map, the full map, governor, Senate, the House, it's looking like a complete and total disaster for the Democrat Party. In many ways, it comes down to a single word. The Democrats' catastrophe comes down to retirements. 11 Democrat senators are not seeking re-election this cycle. 11. That represents the largest retirement wave in the modern Senate era. And here's the thing, it's not who's retiring that matters, it's where. Gary Peters in Michigan, even Tina Smith in Minnesota, Jeanne Shaheen in New Hampshire. These are not safe, deep blue fortresses, including Minnesota, right? Trump came within 4 of winning Minnesota. These are swing states or purple states where incumbency was doing all the heavy lifting, and now that incumbency premium is simply gone. You can contrast this with where Republicans are retiring. Wyoming, Alabama, Kentucky, deep red states, Republicans win by 30 points on a bad day. There's simply no comparison. Democrats are playing defense everywhere. Republicans just need to show up. So let's look at the Senate map. Republicans currently hold a 53 to 45 majority, and here are the 3 blue seats most likely to flip red. Michigan is the crown jewel. Republican Mike Rogers is actually ahead in several polls in an open seat in a state that Trump won in 2024. So if Democrats nominate Abdul El-Sayed, who's another one of these DSA socialists or Democrat Socialists of America, which it looks like they're about to do as of today, Rogers wins comfortably. He's going to crush him. Even if they nominate the more moderate Haley Stevens, the race stays competitive. Michigan is in play for real. So it actually looks, as of now, it looks like we've got a pickup in Michigan that's been a blue Senate seat for over a decade. Then there's Georgia with the Republican Mike Collins. Red Eagle Politics was talking about this race. What makes Georgia's off-year electorate so interesting is they always tilt Republican. So black turnout historically dips in midterms. College-educated white voters in Georgia still skew right, unlike their Midwestern counterparts. And this race could go to a runoff where Republicans have won 3 of the last 4. So that may be another flip with the current incumbent Ossoff being a rather vulnerable Democrat in a state that Trump won just months ago. And then there's New Hampshire, John Sununu running there. The Sununu family name works wonders in this state. It has for decades. The late primary on September 8th is a challenge, but Turning Point USA is investing heavily in this race. New Hampshire's been trending right at the presidential level, and that massive independent bloc can it could break either way. So keep your eye on New Hampshire as another pickup. I see Maine with Susan Collins. I see that as an easy hold. Graham Plattner's campaign is falling apart as of the making of his video. He may have even dropped out. The only real threat to the GOP right now is North Carolina, with Mike Whatley consistently running behind their former Democrat governor. So we'll see what happens there. But we could be looking at 3 pickups in the Senate of seats that were reliably blue now for years. Then there's the governor's races. Very important, especially for things like mass deportations and election integrity. The 2 key pickup states we're looking at are Wisconsin and Arizona. In Wisconsin, if the Democrats nominate the progressive Francesca Hong, Republican Tom Tiffany wins in a landslide. I don't think it's even going to be close. Like with the Michigan Senate seat. The Democrats' own primary could simply hand Republicans the governorship without Republicans having to do a single thing, just other than showing up. So keep your eye on that primary in Wisconsin. And then, of course, there's Arizona, Governor Katie Hobbs. She's one of the most disliked, unpopular governors in the country. Andy Biggs is a stronger fit for the current Arizona electorate than Kari Lake was back in 2022. Republican primary is more unified. The race is going to be very, very competitive. But if Andy Biggs, if he does this right, I mean, the massive voter registration edge that the Republicans have amassed in Arizona should be more than enough to finally knock out Katie Hobbs. So that's currently 5 blue seats, 3 in the Senate, 2 governorships that we could easily see flip red. But of course, the big question, right? The Super Bowl question that everyone's asking, what about the House? Do the Republicans hold the House and perhaps even increase their majority? That's what we're about to find out. But first, gang, I do have to admit, I get pitched get-rich schemes just about every week. And I ignore almost all of them. But a few weeks ago, a friend of mine named Jay told me about something different. Not a Wall Street play or some crypto scheme, not even another scheme cooked up by the globalist class to separate you from your money. This is something everyday Americans can do right now, and it's backed by government statute and secured by real American property. The returns aren't set by the market. They're not set by the Fed. They're set by law, and you can get started with as little as $50. I kid you not. Now, here's the thing. I was skeptical, so I didn't ask Jay to explain it to me. I told him, prove it. Prove it to my audience. I said, don't give us a slideshow. Do it. Actually do it. Buy one live in real time in front of my entire audience so they can watch the whole thing with their own eyes. And he agreed to do precisely that. So Tuesday, July 14th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, Jay is hosting a free live online masterclass, and he's going to buy a real tax lien live right there on the call, start to finish, nothing hidden. He's going to show you exactly what he does to tap into a quiet, steady, law-based strategy that lets hardworking patriots build real wealth on their own terms. You're going to see the entire process step by step with your own eyes. He's going to show you exactly how this strategy works, explain why these financial returns are set by law and not by the market, and then show you how to get started with very little time and very little money. It's amazing stuff. Now, this happens only once, live in real time. When it's done, it's done. So go to turleyclass.com to lock in your spot. That's turleyclass.com, or just text Turley to 72000. That's 72000, or scan the QR code on your screen, tap send, and you're in. Again, it's Tuesday, July 14th at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll see you in the masterclass that will blow you away. All right, so here's the headline that's going to absolutely stun you. It does look like the GOP is not only going to hold the House, it looks increasingly likely they're going to actually pick up seats. It's stunning stuff. So again, Red Eagle Politics has been on top of this. He's projecting Republicans are going to finish at 221, up from the 218 they're sitting at currently today. Larry Schweikert, the historian, he's projecting similarly 222 seats. All 3 of the major House projection maps, so Crystal Ball, Cook Political Report, Inside Elections, all 3 have the Republicans leading the Democrats going into November. Now, keep in mind, this is happening in a midterm year when the incumbent party historically loses seats, an average of 40 seats. I mean, this is absolutely unbelievable. We haven't seen anything like this. For the party in power that always loses seats by double digits to be winning, to be going into the midterms ahead. I mean, we've only seen 3 exceptions to that rule, as it were, 1934, 1998, 2002. And increasingly looks like 2026 is going to be the 4th midterm exception. Here's the structural reason as to why. Democrats would need to win the national popular vote by around 7 points to guarantee flipping the House to get the few seats that they need, given how redistricting has drawn the current map. They would need around 7. The current polling average has Democrats up by 3 to maybe 5 points. That's it. So the math simply doesn't work out for them, period. On offense, Republicans are targeting Texas 28. There's apparently an internal Republican poll showing their candidate ahead by 20 points. The Democrat incumbent, Henry Cuellar, he's raised almost no money. He's very unpopular in the Democrat Party. So this is a very realistic pickup. Ohio 9, Marcy Kaptur's district, it's shifted dramatically rightward. Derek Marin could flip this seat. Florida 25, Republicans have they've added 500,000, 600,000 new voter registrations in Florida since 2024. The district is just trending red along with the state as a whole, so it's inexorably going Republican. And then defensively, Republicans are holding seats that Democrats are drooling over. Mike Lawler in New York 17. It's a blue-collar district. Blue district, I should say. Republican wins there because of who he is, not just the party label. Just people in New York 17 really like Mike Lawler. Then you've got David Valadao in California 22. He's better funded than his far-left challenger, Rob Bresnahan in Pennsylvania 10. That's a Trump +9 district. He's got a union endorsement, strong ground game. So it most certainly does look as if the Republicans are going to hold the House. Again, anything could change, right? I will always be honest with you if we start to see things moving in the different direction. But when you add the redistricting advantage together with the factors of money and momentum, I mean, the case for a GOP hold or expansion only gets stronger. We talked about this in our first video today. The Republican National Committee has a near 7-1 cash advantage over their debt-ridden counterpart, DNC. The RNC entered the spring with $109 million cash on hand. The DNC had just $15 million, but they were already $17 million in outstanding debt. So when you add the full Republican ecosystem, the RNC, the NRCC, the NRSC, the Congressional Leadership Fund, Trump's MAGA Inc. super PAC, Republicans have upwards of $1 billion ready to deploy for these midterms. And Trump is absolutely, for his part, he is absolutely nationalizing the elections like Gingrich did back in 1994 by having, of course, our first conventions, our first midterms conventions, and he's calling out the communists that the Democrats are nominating, with the Democrat Socialists of America winning all of their primaries. And in doing so, he is nationalizing these midterms. And the last time we did that, we crushed it. So let's bring this all together, because what we're watching right now in real time is not just a good midterm cycle for Republicans. It is a potential political realignment of historical proportions. Governors, right? Republicans projected to hold 27 to 22. Senate, the Republicans are realistically expanding to 56 or possibly even 57 seats. In the House, Republicans are projected to gain seats around 221 or 222. Fundraising, I mean, Republicans with $1 billion war chest versus the DNC drowning in debt, and the momentum in that Trump is nationalizing the elections as America first versus America last. I mean, the data, the real data, not the legacy media narrative, says the Democrat Party is staring down a generational defeat in the governor's mansions, in the Senate chamber, and on the House floor, all at the same time on November 3rd. So what do you guys think? You're the ones who are going to be going out. You're the ones who change the world. I want to know. Put your comments down below. And as always, make sure you smack that bell and subscribe button for breaking news and analysis you're not going to get anywhere else. Love you guys. God bless.